Yo, what is poppin'? Hey, man, it took me literally 30 minutes to get this shit going, bro. I tried to come in early, take care of what I need to take care of prior to going live, but camera was just giving me fits trying to get on. So I had to restart my computer. It ran an update, so I'm good now. I was in limbo because I was like, man, I'm about to go live on my phone. Trash. Hey, but we here, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Who was in here first, man? Ronnie. Hey, Ronnie in here first. Hey, he says I'm here, CB83. Hey, I appreciate you, my boy. Let's go. Let's go up for the homie Ronnie. One time for the one time. Let go.
Yes, sir.
Did you miss me? What's up, man? What's up with y'all, man? Hey, we here. We're live. I need y'all to do me a favor. I haven't went live in a long time. It's been a while. Do your boy a favor. Punch that like button. We got to get some things squared away with my audio. Y'all got to let me know how the audio is. I try not to switch my settings a lot, but things change. I haven't been in here in a while. I haven't been in the StreamYard. StreamYard looks totally different. Looks totally different. There's a lot of new stuff in here. But I appreciate you. DF in the building. He says, yo, DF, what's good? Dolphin Don, the homie Don is in the building. Shout out to the homie Don. Shout out to the members gang. I see y'all in here. DF says, bet, yeah. Shout out to the homie, my bro in real life. Shout out to the homie Shake Money. He says, welcome back. I appreciate you, dog. Shake Money, a real one of the best Miami Dolphin content creators in the community. Honestly, just one of the best dudes in the community, period. Just keep it real, keep it 100, no faking, no flapping. Just real Wolfpacker to the death. I appreciate you, Shake Money. Shout out to my dog, man. Hey, DF is in the building. Yo, Tua is making it extremely hard to defend him. I'm a Tua supporter, but this is nuts. DF, we are definitely going to get into it, bro. We definitely have to get into it. I think you make a very valid point. Very, very valid point, man. But we're definitely gonna chop it up. Ronnie N says, hey, we got a lot to talk about. Man, it's been some crazy stuff going on in the community, dog. It's been wild out here. Hey, it's the wild, wild west in the Dolphins community right now. DF says, there is not a see this is pissing me off too. This bar they have like on my stuff. What is this doing, bro? I can't remove that. He says there is not a team in the league that depends on a QB2 more than the fans over the last 2 years. Bro, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And it is extremely annoying. It is extremely frustrating. Um, and that's on Tua. And that's kind of my deal is that that's on Tua. And I've said this before, like he's got to do a better job at that. And honestly, maybe it's to the point where the Miami Dolphins just have to figure something else out. Like maybe they got to figure out another alternative. Um, but that's going to be the conversation that we have. I'm gonna keep it real with you, 100 always. People say I'm a Tua there. I'm a big, huge Tua supporter. Huge, the biggest, one of the biggest. Like Ross say, the biggest. Hey, but yeah, that's me. But I mean, I got to keep it real with y'all also. I gotta keep it real. Gotta keep it real. Um, Shout out to the homie Pittsburgh Dolphin in the building. The return of CB83 fins up everyone. Shout out to my homie, my members gang homie, holding me down. Hey, while the time I was gone, people still held me down, bro. Still locked in, still subbed. I didn't lose not one sub during that time period. I actually gained subs while I was gone. So I appreciate y'all. I've been doing shows here and there on Miami Dolphins Roundtable and stuff like that, but I haven't really gotten back to like locking in, and that's what we about to do now. We about to lock in. So hey, let's get this thing cracking. I know y'all ready to see me. Let's go. Let's get this thing going. Let's crank. Yo, what is up? It's your boy. It's your boy. Hey, I missed you too, my dog. I missed you too. Shout out to the homies. Shout out, getting all the love, man. I appreciate y'all coming through and rocking with the kid for a little bit. Man, I know it's a lot to talk about. I know y'all miss me, man. I missed y'all too. Sincerely. Sincerely missed y'all. I left y'all out here to the Wolves, man. The Wolves just trying to take y'all down, man. Y'all gonna be all right, man. Stand strong in the paint, man. We got Snoop about to come get this dub on Sunday, and we're gonna get into these playoffs, man, and go whoop the Buffalo Bills. Put a cooking on them boys. Shout out to everybody in the chat though, man. But we gonna have a conversation, man. Before I get started, like I said, I appreciate everybody coming through. We have 50 watching right now. I need you to do me a favor. Hit that like button real quick. Real quick. Hit the like button. Punch that like button for your boy. And then we're gonna get into it. We got a lot to talk about. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna let y'all kind of pick the topics. I'm gonna say, hey, we gonna get after it today. We're gonna get after it. So do me a favor, punch the like button. I appreciate the people who are in the members gang, like Tua's injury prone, Shake Money, Pittsburgh Dolphin. Shout out to my mod squad, who comes in and just reps, always here, repping for the gang. Appreciate the homie Wooback. Wooback in the building, man. Hey, love to see you, Wooback. Wooback has a great channel. Great channel on YouTube too, man. So y'all gotta follow Wooback. He does some great stuff. Wooback, be sure to put the name of your channel in the chat too. I think it's Cause I Can, right? Be sure to put the name of your channel in the chat. I appreciate you coming through, bro. Wooback been a day oneer. Been a day oneer for real. Glenn, what's good with you? Good to see Glenn in the building, man. He said, who is this? I thought you gave up on the Dolphins that you have not been on since before the Buffalo game. Glenn is going to keep track. I guarantee you. Glenn, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I didn't give up on the Dolphins, man. Never gave up on them. I'm always watching, always around. I just be having a lot going on. And, I love to be more consistent. It's just around the holidays and stuff, there's a lot going on, traveling, doing stuff. I actually went to the San Fran game and celebrated my dad's 70th birthday down there. We had a great time. Got to speak to some of the coaches, got to see the players up close and personal. It was just a great trip. It was a great trip. We got on the field after the game. Great experience. The Miami Dolphins, whether win or lose, right? Win or lose, you go down there, you can have a really good time. I mean, at the game, tailgating, it's just a great experience from start to finish. And, shout out to Stephen Ross for that. He may not be putting a winning, it's winning, but it's not winning playoff games and championships, which we really want. But he's not putting a winning product on the field, but the experience down there is just second to none. Second to none. So I appreciate you guys for that. Yeah, hey, and Kaz I Can on YouTube, be sure to check out Wooback's channel, man. It's cool. It's cultural. He's actually in the continent of Australia. So it's cool to see some of the stuff they do over there, the culture stuff. I like it. It's kind of similar to what we do over here in the States, the music, the food, the stuff like that. So I appreciate you. King Jamie in the building, Cat for Life in the building. Happy New Year, everyone. First and foremost, I forgot. Happy New Year. I appreciate you guys rocking with me in 2024 and 2023. I started this channel back in 2023 and just kind of ran it, like, put in the work, just started, putting out content, going to training camp, doing shows with other people. 2024, I crunk it up a little bit more. 2025, let's go. Let's rock it. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep thriving. Let's keep going up. Cap, I appreciate you. Cap's always supporting. Whether here, whether everywhere, he's everywhere. So I appreciate the support. I appreciate that you support everybody too. That's love. That's love. Happy New Year to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. I see Red, White, and Bills. I got to give some shout outs, man. Red, White, and Bills, I see you. Pittsburgh Dolphin, Ronnie, Dolphin, Don, who's always here. S. Harris, the homie in real life, man. I appreciate you. S. Harris, always showing love. Who else is in here? Red, White, and Bills is always in here, always showing love. Dolphin, King Mill, I appreciate you. Says Happy New Year. I appreciate you, dog. Tua is injury prone, is always here. Even the Bills fans here, man. Shout out to the Bills fans in the building, man. I know y'all getting a little nervous. Y'all don't want to see us that third time. The Bills, honestly, let's be real. The Bills don't want to see us that third time. I don't think they want to see us, especially not with Snoop. They might want to see us with Tua because they know how they think Tua has the cold issue. He can't play in the cold. Even though when he went to Buffalo, he had a really good game. I just thought the defense didn't play well. Um, I don't think the Bills want to see us a third time. I think they'd rather see somebody else. Playing that division foe a third time, it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a season. We saw that when we played them with Skylar Thompson in the playoffs. I mean, we damn near won that game. We just, couldn't get it done down the stretch, right? So, man, I appreciate you guys coming through. Glenn in the building, always in the building. King Jamie in the building. Ski was good. Happy New Year, my dog. Let's get to it, man. Hey, A Burgos in the building. A Burgos. Shout out to the homie A Burgos. That's the homie in real life too. What's good, my boy? Shout out to the homie, man. We gonna check out a couple games next year, whether we do one down here and one, up near Kentucky somewhere. We definitely gonna get it in. A Burgos. Appreciate you. That's my dog in the members game. But yeah, JD the Great in here too. What's good, JD? Happy New Year, bro. Happy New Year. Appreciate y'all. Hey, like button activated. Appreciate y'all. We got 75 watching right now. Punch that like button. Woo back in the building, Shake. You already know, man. Hey, and shout out. Hey, I can't forget the Wolfpack. Shout out to the Wolfpack. I know y'all are watching, but y'all don't want to jump in that chat because y'all scared to get activated. But it's okay. Y'all can watch from the sidelines. I know the TNTG crew. I know some of these other channels. Who is that? The flip flopper pickup. Is that what it called? Is that what it's called? The flip flopper pickup. I think I know they got some Wolfpackers over there too. Shout out to y'all boys. I see what y'all doing, man. But yeah, we're gonna keep rocking, man. Hey, all right. So let's get into it now. By vote, tell me what y'all want to talk about first. Is it y'all want to talk about Tua first? Y'all want to talk about Grier first? Or y'all want to talk about the Miami Dolphins team as a whole? So put it in the chat. Tua, Miami Dolphins, or Chris Grier? Which one y'all want to talk about first? I'm gonna let y'all pick the topics and how we move. My dog Tua's injury prone says the owner. The owner. S. Harris says the team. Okay, I see it. So, we got some good ones. So, owner, team, McDaniel, Grier. Damn, I get everybody else. Y'all all spaced out. Y'all all over the place, man. The organization. All right, so I got 2 for the. Okay, Grier. We want to talk about Grier. Well, let me get a couple more votes, man. Let me get a couple more votes. He says, "Oops, nobody want to talk about. Everybody want to talk about Tua until they come over here, man. Y'all don't want to hear what I got to say about Tua." Grier. Okay, we could do Grier. Okay, so let's talk about Grier first. So rumors are coming out about Chris Grier maybe not being around next season. And guys, I mean, I think you guys kind of know how I feel about Chris Grier. He said, Roddy says, save Tua for last. Yeah, we're gonna save Tua for last because we got a lot to talk about when it comes to Tua. So we're on Grier right now. This is Grier topic, right? So Chris Grier is rumored to maybe not be around next season. Now, I want to get y'all thoughts real quick. Should Grier stick around next year? Or should Grier be fired? Put it in the chat. Should he be fired or should he be able to stick around? Let me know. Because I want to tell you guys how I feel about it. So rumors are circulating that Grier could possibly get the axe act in the offseason. So after this season, he could possibly get the axe. Pittsburgh Dolphins says he should, he might get fired. Probably gonna get fired. Tua's injury prone says stick around. William Hankins says Dolphins never rely on a coach to get to get to a not rookie coach status. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, yeah, I think you're right in some instance. Um, Woolback says Greer's fired. JD says time to move on. To his injury prone says Ross isn't firing anyone. Um, I mean, those are all good observations, and I think honestly, I think it's up in the air at this point. Um, and I think it's going to depend on how the Dolphins finish the season as well. I think if they end up getting in the playoffs and end up, playing decent in the playoffs, maybe losing a close game, I think it's hard for them to justify firing Chris Grier, right? Um, but this is my thing about the Chris Grier situation. GMs are typically responsible for putting rosters together, roster construction, right? And typically, um, when it comes to like roster construction, you got to kind of collaborate with the head coach, right? That's got to be a piece of the puzzle. Like you have to be willing to sit down and have conversations about him and his vision and what he feels is best for his football team, right? So it is a collaborative relationship. Now, there's a dynamic in power though, right? So, and I don't know, and we don't know this about the Miami Dolphins organization. Do we know that whatever Chris Grier says goes when it comes to players coming in and stuff like that? I don't know if that's the case. Like, and I'm sure he should have that title. I think he should be responsible for it. But I don't know if he's solely responsible for bringing players in and signing them the contracts and making it work, right? Because I think there's other guys who are responsible for the financial aspect of it. Maybe Brandon Sure, right? Um, and Greer may be on the football side of it, saying, "Hey, this is maybe a player that we can target, right?" But we still have to make the money work. The finances have to work, right? So McDaniel, I think, has a lot to do with this. And this is my thing. I think this roster has always, the past, at least this year, has been good enough to get it done, right? To me, in my opinion, it's been good enough to get it done, right? Now, defensively, you've taken a step back at times, right? You have a new DC. I understand that. But it's the responsibility of the head coach to kind of figure out defense, special teams, and offense, right? So that's his thing. He has to make sure that that works. And if he fires a defensive coordinator every year, that's on him. It makes him look bad. It's not on the GM, right? The GM's not responsible for hiring the staff, right? So when it comes to defense and the construction of the team this year, you hired a new defensive coordinator. Of course, you know, it's going to take you some time to gel and figure it out, but that's not on Chris Grier. That's on Mike McDaniel. So I just don't, I can't put all of this on Chris Grier, and I don't think he's the reason why the Miami Dolphins are losing this season. Now, I do think Chris Grier is responsible for this, right? I do think Chris Grier is responsible for the quarterback situation in Miami, right? And the quarterback situation in Miami is that Tua Tagovailoa is the starting quarterback, and um, people say that Grier didn't want to pay Tua. I don't believe that. Don't let these people gas you up and say Grier didn't want to pay Tua and McDaniel had to beat down the table for him in order to. I don't think that's the case. I think they all came to the conclusion that Tua was the best thing for the team moving forward, right? I think they all came to that conclusion, right? So I don't think anybody gets out of saying, hey, Tua is the guy for the organization. I think they all have to come to that conclusion or Tua plays on the fifth year option, right? Now, this is interesting. Wubeck says Grier never builds in the trenches, right? Now, when it comes to the quarterback situation, we're gonna get to the trenches. When it comes to the quarterback situation, I do think Grier should have stepped in, right? And people in that room should have stepped in and said, "Hey, Skylar Thompson and whoever we had at the time, Mike White, are not good enough backups with the situation that Tua currently has, right?" So Chris Grier is responsible for that. There were plenty of players out there, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, a lot of different quarterbacks. Sam Darnold. There's a bunch of guys that were available that he could have went and got that are better than Mike White and Skylar Thompson at the time. Tyler Huntley was nowhere on our radar. So I do blame Chris Grier for that because somebody needs to be able to check Mike McDaniel, right? In the government, there's checks and balances. There's three different branches. And in order for things to get done, all of them have to kind of sign off on what's being done. I don't believe Grier should have signed off on the Mike White and Skylar Thompson being the backup. I don't think that should have happened. So he is to blame for that. He is to blame for the trenches situation because Mike McDaniel may be arrogant and stubborn and saying, "Hey, you know, we get the ball out quick. We run a zone scheme, running game. We don't need big guys in the trenches who are going to maul guys, open up gaps. We need position blockers who are going to take their steps, beat guys to a spot, and position block them." Right? So a lot of that is also on Grier as well, right? But I still come back to the fact that I do think this roster was good enough, right? And I think Mike McDaniel dropped the ball in terms of coaching, right? And Mike McDaniel is not just an offensive coach. He's responsible for the defense, he's responsible for the special teams and the offense. Defense has hurt us this year, right? At times. Offense has hurt us at times too, right? But when you're playing close games and you need to get off the field, you need to have guys who are capable of doing that. And you got to have a good game plan going into these games. You got to be more locked in, right? You got to be more willing to tackle, right? You got to be physical. You got to be willing to stick your nose in there. And I think that's my problem with the defense I saw earlier in the year is that the team just were softer, right? They just weren't physical. They were more finesse. They were guys who, you know, like to you know chase down tackles, right? I want guys who are gonna thump you. And honestly, that Browns game was probably the hardest hitting Miami Dolphins game I've seen in a long time. And people say it's the Browns. It was the Browns. But I liked what I saw defensively in that game. I saw guys, I saw effort. I saw guys running to the football. And it seems like they finally bought into what's going on. You see Calais Campbell on the sideline talking to guys, having the one-on-ones. You see guys like Jordan Brooks having really, really tough conversations with these guys about grinding and getting after it and practicing hard. Um, and I think that's what has kind of set the stage for where we are right now, right? Um, so, man, I when it comes to the Greer situation, I just can't put it all on him. If it's my choice, I'm not I'm not gonna fire Chris Grier because I don't think he's responsible for everything that's going on. I think a lot of it is coaching, right? Um, and when you hire a rookie head coach and you hire a young guy, I feel like you also have to let that guy take his lumps. It's just like having a rookie quarterback. Like when you have a rookie quarterback and you sign him and you play him early, he's gonna take his lumps those first 2, 3, 4 years. Like guys are still learning how to play in the NFL. And that's the same with head coaches. They're still learning how to figure it out. So, I mean, I think it's more on Mike McDaniel. Um, Mike McDaniel, it just takes time, man. It takes time Finn's Posse says, CB, Grier got to go, brother. I hear you. I hear you. I hear people who say Grier got to go. I'm not saying y'all are wrong either. I'm just saying I don't think Grier is the issue. I don't think Grier is the issue because I think we have the talent in the room. I feel like we have we're deep enough at every position. Like, I mean, guys get hurt. I think the nicks and bruises. I think that's more of a cultural thing for the Miami Dolphins, though. I think when it comes to players not playing through injuries, um, you know, being hurt all the time, I think that's more of a cultural thing. And I think that head coaches set culture in their locker rooms. I think head coaches set culture, right? And shout out to my guy Finn's Posse podcast. He's giving away, please, guys. I have 92 people watching me right now. Finn's Posse is giving away $1,000 tonight on live stream. If you don't go over there and sub to his channel and go to his live stream tonight, you're crazy. He's giving away $1,000 to one of the people in the chat who are active, chatting, talking. Go over there, sub to the channel, hit the like button. Go check him out. He's giving away $1,000, and he has great content. It's a no brainer. So go over there. Hey, sub to the channel. I'm gonna even try to put the channel in my. I'm gonna try to put the link in here as well. Give me a second. So let me do this real quick. Fans, Posse. Man, go sub. I'm putting it in here right now. Go sub. He's giving away $1,000 tonight in his live stream tonight. Let me see if that's up there. Though. There it is, right there. Yep. $1,000 giveaway. Gosh, that boy giving away a stat. Hey, I better go sub to the boy. I better go sub and try to get that stack. I could use that. I got bills, man. Got real bills, man. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey, if you could donate, please donate. We got a goal of 5 super chats on the channel today at any dollar amount. And I'm letting the person who, donates pick the topic. Pick the topic. So appreciate y'all. Let's get back to this chat real quick. How many chances does Grier get at GM? That's a good question. How many chances does he get? Like, what do you guys consider a bad season? Because this season isn't over with yet. Let's say we make the playoffs. Are you still firing Grier? Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I mean, we've had 2 back-to-back playoff seasons, right? We played the Bills, we played the Chiefs. Like, usually you don't fire guys who their teams are winning games and they're getting to the playoffs. Let's be real. Like, I understand what y'all are saying. And I may drop the link so I can get some of y'all up just to talk for a few. I'll probably drop the link, so stick around too. But yeah, I mean that's my thing with it. It's just hard for me to, fire Grier after 2 back-to-back playoff seasons, and we may find a way to back into the playoffs again like we do every year. So this is really just the McDaniel situation, like getting into the playoffs. And finding a way to win a game to get it. So we'll see. Tua says we aren't disciplined, too many penalties at crucial times, and I agree with this. And that's coaching, right? That's a coaching issue. So, and that's a lot of why I feel like Grier should, safe for the most part. It's because this is more of a coaching thing. Greg says, when you are not winning playoff games for 25 years, don't you think the manager of the team should eventually be held accountable? Because bringing everyone in. So, guys, we say playoff games 25 years. Should we hold Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel responsible for 20 years of not making the playoffs or not winning a playoff game? Like, should that be on their shoulders or should that be on Stephen Ross's shoulders? Because honestly, they haven't been here that entire time. I just feel like y'all are just unrealistic when it comes to like your expectations. Like, I understand you want to win a playoff game. I do too, trust me, right? But the goal is getting in. If you get into the playoffs, you got a shot. So I think if the Dolphins fall short and don't make the playoffs, the season is a failure, complete failure. And I think maybe McDaniel or Chris Grier are having conversations with Ross about what's going to happen moving forward, right? But I think if you get in the playoffs, you got a shot. You got a shot at winning a game. So I just want to see us get in. And if we get in, hey, make noise. Go get a playoff win. I don't think it's impossible. I think the team is playing better football than they've played. I know Tua's out, which sucks, and we're gonna talk about Tua. But Snoop is honestly, Snoop could probably be a starter for other teams. Right? I think he's better than a lot of quarterbacks in this league. I think he just hasn't had that starting opportunity. So we'll see. We'll see. Douglas Anderson says play calling and play design were lacking. We weren't fooling anyone. I agree with that to some extent. A lot of it's I don't like some of the blocking schemes in the run game. I think it's too complex. I think McDaniel doesn't want to run those gap scheme plays, and it comes back to bite us because you're just trying to run around people all the time. Um, I think it's a lot of that. I think it's a lot of that. Yeah, and like I said, man, y'all go check out Finn's Posse tonight, man. Go check him out. Greg says we can blame McDaniels as well, but Grier been with the Dolphins team that has failed to win. Now, Grier win a playoff game. Now, Grier went through a rebuild. He's been through like 3 or 4 head coaches, right? The rebuild with Flores, I don't think we can put that. Can we put that era on? Dang, Jeremiah Smith is an absolute dog. This dude is ridiculous. The best receiver in college football. My goodness. Um, we can't, I don't think we can put all of that on um, Chris Grier. I don't think we can put that on Chris Grier. Um, so he says we can blame McDaniel as well, but Grier with the Dolphins team failed to win a playoff game for 25 years. Longest playoff drought in history. I'm thinking fire Grier if I'm lost. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think that. Hey, Burgos, what's good? My boy says let's build an O line and get bigger running backs and receivers. I agree with this wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. Honestly, this has always been my take with the Miami Dolphins, guys, especially on offense. Tua needs a running back that's going to scare opposing defenses, right? He just needs that type of running back. I'm telling y'all, if Tua had a guy that could just, if Tua had a Jonathan Taylor, a um, a Saquon Barkley, a guy like that, like bro, Derrick Henry, Tua would be a much better football player. And I'm gonna tell you why. Just because those linebackers have to be more aware, they have to be more cautious. They can't be dropping in the zones. They have to come up and stick their nose in there and be willing football players, right? With a guy like A Chain, you just don't get that element. A Chain he's a great running back. He's great at what he does. He's just not the type of player that's going to scare opposing defenses. He's just not that guy. Like, once you get to him, he's wrapped up. But you got to get to him first. He's fast, he's shifty. But Tua needs a guy like he needs a downhill guy. He needs a Saquon. He needs a Jonathan Taylor. I thought at one time Dalvin Cook was the play. I think Dalvin Cook would have been phenomenal for the Dolphins because he would have been a change up to what we had, right? So I've always said this on my channel. Ask anybody. Tua just needs a guy that's going to scare opposing defenses. And when you line up Mostert back there, and when you line up Achane, and when you line up Jalen Wright hasn't really gotten the opportunities. But when you line up Achane and Mostert, you just don't get that element. They're more pass catchers. They're not gonna get gapped. They're not gonna hit the gap hard and run you over. So that's kind of my thing. He needs a bigger running back. He needs a, a more versatile receiving core, right? He needs guys that could do a little bit more outside of speed and timing. He needs a guy that you could throw back shoulder through to. And when we look at Tua early in his career, he was really successful with Devontae Parker and throwing that back shoulder throw and throwing that comeback route, right? Because Devontae Parker had long arms, big catch radius. So he could get guys off of him. He could do that back shoulder. And Tua made some really good plays to Devontae Parker early in his career. Now he doesn't have that ability because he doesn't have one of those receivers. So I agree with A Burgos. The O line is a problem. We could get better there. Our guards just aren't good enough. We are playing with um, D plus guards, right? We need B minus, C plus, right? Um, we need a bigger receiver, right? We need a bigger guy, right? Tight end Jonu's been phenomenal for us, and that's always been an element that we haven't used as well. He Jonu's been phenomenal, but you need Tyreek is cool, right? The play, honestly, and I know people are going to be upset with me, and I'm a Dolphin fan. It's not about players; it's about the logo to me. The play would have been to trade Waddle for maybe offensive line or a bigger receiver, somebody who's going to take on less money. We don't need two $30 million receivers. We just don't, guys. We just don't need it. We don't need a two $30 million guys. I think Waddle's a great receiver, but you don't need two of those guys on your roster. I think Tyreek was the guy. I think you should have kept Tyreek. And I understand Jalen Waddle's younger, but it's a better asset. You get more for him. Penei Sewell would have been, bro, that was the answer. That was the answer for us. But we didn't know we were going to get a Tyreek. So I can understand the Miami Dolphins saying, hey, let's go get something for Tua. I think the pick would have been Penei, though, for sure. Looking back on it, no, hands down, no doubt. But if you'd have moved Waddle and got a cheaper receiver, a big body receiver, cheaper, who can make plays. And you see Malik Washington. Malik Washington is honestly doing what Jalen Waddle does, maybe just a little bit slower, but definitely more sure-handed. So more sure-handed and taking care of what he needs to take care of, right? Doing what he needs to do. So that's my thing. And I mean, when we look at it, the Miami Dolphins I think they're just built wrong. I think they're a good football team. Miami Dolphins are a good football team. They're just built finesse. They're built speed. And there needs to be some element of speed and power in order to be successful in the league. It just needs to happen. The guards are such an issue. Eichenberg getting manhandled at times. And I watched the film. I watched Robert Jones, whoever they put there. I watched Isaiah Wynn. I was talking to one of the coaches after the game, one of the Miami Dolphins coaches after the game. And, I said, man, you guys ran the ball well today. He was offensive coach. I said, you ran the ball well today. It's like, what's different? It's like, well, I mean, we executed. And honestly, when you hear these coaches talk, like, execution is key to them. Like, you got to be able to execute. But he was also like, yeah, we also had, Isaiah Wynn back. That helps, right? And he understands that the guards we had in there are just limited. They just can't do certain things. Like, they don't pull well, right? And they aren't physical. So if they know this, the Miami Dolphins know this, the coaches know this, It's it's not it's something that's limiting them from doing stuff they want to do. So when I have conversations like that, I understand that he knows, right? So in the off season, your priority should be getting stronger at these positions, right? Because if it's limiting you and you can't do stuff, you can't trap, you can't run counter, you can't run power because your guards don't pull well, they don't do well in space, then you need to find a way to get better at those positions. And even our tackles, the tackles are just a revolving door. Like we just need guys who are going to be available, and it's not just Tua. Tua is a big part of the puzzle, huge part of the puzzle. But everybody needs to be on the field. The best ability is availability, and if you're not going to be available, you aren't going to help your football team. So that's really my problem with the Miami Dolphins and this offense is that the guards need to be better. You're an NFL team. Teams watch film on you every week. They know where your weakness is. Everything is on film, and the eye and the sky don't lie. I'm the first one to say it in this community. It just don't lie. You cannot line up week to week and expect people not to go after your weaknesses. It's just, bro, that's what they're going to do. This is the NFL. They're going to watch the film. They're going to say, oh, that guy right there is a liability. He is not an asset to the team. He will get exposed when we go out there. And that's what they do. They take advantage of it. And you can't have guys like that on your team. And maybe you have one guy like that on your offensive line. But you can't have two, right? You can't have two. And you definitely can't have three on your offensive line. Don't let it be you got a backup in there. He's young. Patrick Paul starting at tackle. And then you got two guards who are bad. Bro, you got a whole bad side. You have a whole bad side. And I'm not saying bad in terms of like can't get it done. Of course, Patrick Paul is a rookie. He's going to have some good plays. He's going to have some bad plays. But he's still a rookie. You're going to take your lumps. It's just like having a rookie quarterback or a rookie head coach. You're going to take your lumps. It's going to be hard for you to win consistently, right? Because when you look at the game of football, offensively, you're looking for 11 guys to go out there and win their individual battle, right? 5 offensive linemen, a tight end, a running back, 3 wide receivers, a quarterback. You're looking for them to win their individual battles. If they're not able to win their individual battles, you most likely aren't going to win the war. Just is what it is. You aren't going to win the game. So you need guys who are going to be there consistently, at least 4. Dang, Ohio State's absolutely killing Oregon right now. You need at least 4 guys, 3 to 4 guys who are going to be there consistently week in, week out, and going to get after it and are not going to be liabilities. And that's my thing with this Dolphins team right now is that the guards position, they're liabilities. They just aren't getting it done consistently. And of course, they're going to have good plays here or there. And that's the thing about me. I'm gonna keep it real, right? I understand. These guys can get away with doing certain things, right? If Mike McDaniel went out there and ran zone scheme the entire game, they can get away with doing that. But you aren't going to win that way. You have to switch it up. Like you have to do something else. You have to be able to run power or counter. You have to be able to run some gap scheme stuff. You have to be able to run it up in the middle, or you aren't going to get short yardage. You're going to struggle with that because they don't do it enough, right? So when you're running zone scheme, inside zone, outside zone, yeah, it's cute. It's really cute, right? You get away with it for a little bit. But when it comes time to get that 4th or 3rd and 1, and you have a quarterback you don't want to put in a situation where he gets a concussion on a QB sneak or something like that, bro, you're gonna have to run the ball up in there. And that 1 to 2 plays you have to run the ball in there, The three technique, the 2-eye, the zero over center, they're gonna be licking their chops. They are going to be licking their chops because they know that you won't be able to get it done in those moments because they watch the film on your guards. They know. Oh, they know. Fire off, low hat. Oh, we about to smoke these boys. And they know. So that's my thing with Mike McDaniel and his vision for the offense. It's just too limited. It's too limited in what he wants to do. He has to be more versatile. And being more versatile means, hey, beefing up your O line, and you're gonna have to start running some gaps, gap stuff. You're gonna have to take Engel and run some ISO stuff. You're gonna have to freaking mix it up and run zone scheme and inside zone and outside zone. But you can't just be strictly like inside zone, outside zone, and then when you get in 4th and 1, you want to run a gap scheme play because guys are gonna fire off in those guards, and it's just too easy. Like they aren't winning that. So that's my thing. Um, Now I think it's time to talk about this Tua situation. And I know that's what y'all are here for. I know this is what y'all want to hear. I got 118 people watching right now. Like I said, do me a favor, punch the like button, support the channel. I appreciate the members gang. No super chats yet, but I appreciate you guys just coming through and showing love. It's been a while. So I appreciate that. Um, my man said Flores used to put Jacoby into front because he's a hey, he did. Flores was a fool, boy. Flores knew how to get to Tua. He knew how to piss Tua off. That's funny. So we got 120 watching right now. Be sure to hit the like button. I may drop the link for y'all. Should I drop the link? No, let me talk about Tua first. Let me talk about Tua first. So this Tua situation, guys. Now I'm gonna sit back. This might be a little bit. Um, so Tua is currently dealing with another injury, right? And this time it's the hip, right? The same hip he hurt up coming out of college. Um, I think this all stemmed from the hit in Houston where he basically took off on a run, decided to fall forward, got sandwiched between two guys, went out and played in San Fran, right? I was at the game. Tua looked from my view, Tua looked solid in that game. I can tell he wasn't his best, but he was solid, right? Now, going into the week against the Browns, it seemed like he was going to play on Thursday. Friday, they downgraded him to doubtful. People are like, what's going on? There's a lot of people panicking um, because the Miami Dolphins' playoff hopes are on the line, which is true, right? And like I said, I can't be a hypocrite. The best ability is availability. Tua isn't available down this stretch where we need him the most, right? Now, I think Tua is a really good football player, right? I think with that being said, Tua is not on the level of a Patrick Mahomes. He's not on the level of Lamar Allen. He's not on Lamar Jackson, I'm sorry. And he's not on the level of Josh Allen. So he's not in the realm of those QBs. Those QBs have a different ability that Tua doesn't have, right? So they have something special that Tua doesn't have. They have the hey, I can carry you guys by myself without everything being good around me, right? They have that ability. Tua doesn't have that ability. Now, will Tua ever have that ability? I don't think so, right? To be completely honest with you, I don't think he has that ability, right? Now, Tua's a good quarterback, like I said, really good quarterback, but Tua needs things to go well around him. He needs good offensive line play. He needs receivers to catch the ball, which our quarterbacks do, right? He needs a really good running game, and I think that's what Tua needs the most. Tua needs a very, very efficient running game, one that's getting at least 3 to 4 yards a clip. If Tua's run game averages 4 to 5 yards a clip, you're gonna win football games, right? Um, so for sure. So Tua's just not in that Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes realm. He's just not there. So and what I want you to understand is that there's only 3 guys like that in the NFL. There's only 3 of those guys, and there's 32 teams in the NFL. So there are 29 other teams with the situation, and there's some young guys that are really good. There's some middle of the pack guys that are really good too. Um, but there's still quarterbacks who need a lot of things to go right around them in order for them to be successful. Now, out of my man Shamar says, "Can I get a wrench?" Man, you just got here. You gotta come around. Come around more often. I got you, bro. If you become one of the regulars, subscribe and you supporting, I got you. I got you with a wrench. I promise you. I promise you. Um, so and that's my thing about Tua. Now the thing I don't like about Tua, this is what I don't like about Tua, and I've said this countless times. Tua does not protect himself. He doesn't have an understanding of, hey, when I get outside the pocket, I need to do whatever I can. It's not about the first down or the moment. It's not about the moment, right? It's about me protecting myself so I can be available down the stretch for the rest of the season, right? So that's my problem with Tua. And if Tua's not going to be that guy that we can trust to protect himself, we need to find a very good backup, or we need to draft a guy who can eventually come in, take over, and maybe end up replacing Tua down the line, right? But we can't keep going into a situation where we have a guy that's going to take off and put himself in jeopardy in the team and be selfish, because that's what he's doing. Tua's being selfish. When he makes these plays, he doesn't realize it in the moment, but he's being selfish and saying, hey, I got to do whatever I got to do to win the game. No, it's not about winning every game. It's about being available, right? We understand. Me, as a guy who played football and coached at a high level, um, I understand that quarterbacks are going to have bad games. So I'm fine with a bad game here and there, right? Now, in those bad games, ideally, your defense would step up and get stops, and you'd still be able to win the game. Now, that hasn't been the case with the Miami Dolphins because the defense has been they've been lacking, which I think that's it happens, right? So I think the Dolphins really haven't been playing complementary football, right? Sometimes the offense is good, sometimes the defense is good, but it's never in cohesion, or it's never one stepping up in the event that the other one is lacking. So that's been my thing. And let me do something real quick. Yeah, I know. I was on mute. I was talking to my son. I'm back. I'm back. Um, my man says, "Be careful with all of that honesty, CB. You may lose a bit of core subscribers." No, I'm good. I'm good. My subscribers know. They know I'm objective. Now, too, like I said, I really like Tua as a player. I also know that, hey, Tua is not protecting himself as a player in the NFL. And when you aren't going to protect yourself, you're going to put your team in jeopardy, and that's going to become a problem, right? Because you being out 4 to 5 games a year is just not helping us. It's not helping us at all. So um so where we are right now, Snoop is playing. I think Snoop played well last week, right? And I think if Snoop continues to play like that and kind of gets into a groove, I saw him kind of get into a groove in the second half. If he continues to play like that, we can win football games if the defense steps up. Defense is got to be a difference maker for us, right? They got to get turnovers. They got to make plays. It just is what it is, guys. And I think even with Tua playing, I think our defense has got to be better than they have been in the past. And I think people will clamor for this offense, but I think this offense is limited, right? And what they can do, right? And when I say limited, I think they struggle running the ball in certain situations. Um, they have to put the ball in the quarterback's hands at unopportune times. Like 4th and 1, you have to pass it. You have to throw a screen pass. Like that should be the easiest 1 yard you can get. Quarterback sneak or just hand the ball off to a running back and mash it up front, right? So in situations like that, when you can't do that and teams know you can't do that and you really aren't successful doing that, I think that shows that you just had I mean, you're limited as offense. And I think that's on Mike McDaniel, right? And defensively, the defense is playing better. We need them to play better. We need them to be better. We need special teams to not cost us games, and that's what they haven't been doing. Jason Sanders been doing a good job of hitting kicks for the most part. Um, Coverage and stuff has been solid. They haven't been cost as long as they don't cost us games and they're an asset to the team, we can win. As long as these units aren't liabilities, we can win games. Um, Now, am I saying if we get in the playoffs, we're going in to beat Buffalo? No, I'm not saying it's a guaranteed win. I'm just saying the Miami Dolphins have an opportunity to win, right? And every team does on any given Sunday. But I think if I was playing anybody in the playoffs, I'd like to see the Bills, right? I don't mind seeing the Bills again. We played them tough last time. Tua played a phenomenal game. I think the defense just couldn't get into a groove. I think the defense is playing a lot better now than they were playing at that point. So honestly, I'd love to see us get in the playoffs and play Buffalo in the cold. I think we got a shot at beating them and shocking the world, right? Even with Snoop, because we still have weapons. Mike McDaniel is still going to find a way to generate some offense, and that's what I do like about McDaniel. Like he's not all bad, right? He just is really good at what he does, right? The screens, the play calling, the separation, getting space, creating space for players, the receivers, getting Tyreek open, getting Waddle open. He does a really good job at that. He's not bad when it comes to that. But when it gets into these crunch situations where you got to run the ball, you got to get fourth and 1. There's always going to be a situation like that within the game, and we get into these situations and we can't convert because we aren't physical enough. We aren't firing off the ball. Our guys aren't willing to stick their nose in there offensively on the offensive line. The tight ends get blown up, or the receiver's responsible for blocking a linebacker and he's come scot free. So this is a lot of the things that we're dealing with. Um, but yeah, he says, "Bro, you delusional when it comes to Tua. Dude must have you under contract." No, I'm not. Not at all. And I'm not delusional when it comes to Tua. I like Tua. I just he hasn't been available. So I mean, you have to kind of look at other alternatives. That's just where we are with it, bro. That's real. That's real life. You got to find a formidable backup. And this is the situation we're in with Tua. Like we're kind of stuck with him through next year, right? I think you have him on the roster. I think you draft a guy, or you go pick up a seasoned veteran who, and I don't think drafting a guy will the guy you draft is not going to come in and win you games, right? He's just coming in to take his lumps, get reps, and that's what I don't like about some NFL, some Miami Dolphin fans is that they think drafting a guy, he's going to come in and light the world on fire and win you football games. It's just not gonna happen. Like every you in the third and fourth round, you're not finding a Jaden Daniels who could just and even Jaden Daniels' situation, bro, his running backs, his line, his guys are playing well around him. His guys are playing really well around him. And that's what helps when the team is well run and the offense is well run and you can do a lot, you're versatile, you can show different looks and do different stuff. Hey, bro, you're gonna be successful. Right? And that's Jaden Daniels' situation. He's in a really good situation right now. People didn't think about it was going to be that case initially, but damn, like when we look at it from a macro perspective, like shit, his guys are playing ball, right? The defense ain't like lighting the world on fire, but they're doing enough. He's doing enough too. He's making some plays. Like he's locked in. But geez Louise, making like that's a solid situation they got going on in Washington. And my man, the Washington fan was in here. Where is he at? Real Washington fan. What's good with you, man? What up, CB? Happy New Year to you and your family. Happy New Year, everyone. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Hey, my man with Pittsburgh Dolphin with the $5 donation. I appreciate you, bro. He says, I appreciate you always being objective and open to other points of view. Now let's rebuild the trenches. Yeah, I think rebuilding the trenches, doing some stuff defensively to get better. Your safety position you're going to have to look at. Haven't been really happy with the way Poyer and Holland have been playing. I think they've been better, right? I think they've been better down the stretch. I think Holland has been making a lot of business decisions, not being willing to put his body on the line, in certain plays. And I'm not saying I can understand him, but he's in a contract year, right? I think he should be trying to go out there and ball. I just don't think he's willing to get hurt, right? And really mess up his money. Because getting hurt really does mess up your money. So you gotta keep that in mind too. The Pittsburgh Dolphin, I appreciate you, bro. And I try to be objective. I know there's a lot of people who dislike Tua in the community. The Wolfpack hates this dude. I hear a lot of people say, and I hear a lot of flip flopping too. I hear a lot of the oos is loose. I hear, oh, Tua is that guy. We're hoping Tua can do this and do that. Tua, bro, he's had some really good games this season. Arizona, I think he played phenomenal outside of the safety. Buffalo, I think was his best game this season. Just locked in, making every throw, dealing. Just Jason Kidd with the rock, like Jason Kidd in his prime. I think Tua's had some really good games, but he also had some games where he struggles. And those are the games where offensive line struggles, run game struggles. He isn't one of those guys that are just gonna like elevate everything or be able to play outside of that. And that's just where he is. And there's at least 15 other quarterbacks like that in the NFL that, hey, you just need stuff right going right in order for you to be successful, right? I think Joe Burrow is kind of on that bridge of getting into that realm of being one of those guys that could just do it all, but there's not a lot of them. I think Matthew Stafford at one point might have been one. Aaron Rodgers at one point might have been one. But right now, there's just not a lot of guys who can just do it all without the offensive line, without the receivers making plays. It's just tough to do that. So that's why I try to be objective. And people, Tua has missed. He's missed a lot of games, right? He's missed a lot of games. As Sarah says, I disagree. CB, he has efficient and had Mac, Preston, and Parker looking good. Yeah. I'm not saying Tua hasn't been efficient. Tua's been a good quarterback. He just isn't one of those guys. Look, Tua isn't one of those guys who, when the offensive line is getting thrashed, he's gonna find a way to make a play. When the offense when they can't when the defensive line or when the receivers aren't making plays, he's not one of those guys. I'm saying versus good teams too, and I'm not just saying I know Tua can do some stuff versus batter football teams, right? He could play well against defenses that aren't as great. But when it comes to those games where it's like nut crunching time and you play some of the big dogs, it becomes more difficult. And I just haven't in moments he's done it, I just haven't seen him do it consistently. Right. And Tua's I think he's like I said, a really good football player. If they build the trenches around him and get him a big running back, somebody who can scare opposing defenses, I think he could be a better football player for the Dolphins. Um, but I mean, that's where we are with it, bro. It's just it sucks. Um, Sal says, "Who blows a three-game lead with five left last year? It's a shot. Bills window was closed." Yeah, yeah. At this point, the good team thing seems mental. I think the good thing team is mentally for the Miami Dolphins as a whole. I don't think it's just Tua either. Um, I think the Miami Dolphins have a hard time beating good football teams um, in cold weather. So I think that's real. So I think they have to get out there and show that they could do that in order for us to be like, yo, that's a thing of the past. And maybe we get a shot. I'm hoping Kansas City plays their guys at least for a half. Give us a half where you beat Denver and you give us a shot to go out there and get a win and get in. Like I said, I'd love to see Buffalo. I want to play them. I would love to play Buffalo again. I ain't scared. So we'll see. Kevin Lee says, "Hey, what's good, CB? If Snoop goes out there in there Sunday and wins for us in Miami, makes round one playoffs, Tua better not play because he didn't earn it like Snoop did. Tua can sit down on the bench versus the Bills." This may be an unpopular take, but I think if Snoop goes out there and wins and plays well, and plays similar to how he did last week, gets into a groove early, plays well throughout the entire game, I think Snoop should get the start versus whoever we play in the playoffs. Yep. I think that should be the case. And I don't think Tua should get a shot until Snoop plays poorly. If Snoop has a really poor play, um, let's say we go into the playoffs and we play the Bills, and Snoop plays terrible in the first half. And I'm saying like interception, barely any offense. Then if Tua's ready to go, you put Tua in the second half, and that's pressure on Tua. Hey, but you put yourself in this situation, so it is what it is. So I think that's the only way we do that is by you know is you got to give Snoop that opportunity. He played well last week versus the Browns, but if he goes out here and plays well this week, plays a complete game, um, I think you got to give him a shot in the playoffs. Um, and it sucks because I want to see Tua out there, and that's what disappoints me about this is that Tua should be there. He should, and I'm tired of not seeing him. Um, but it is what it is. Like, and this is where we're at, and it sucks being in this space where we have a starting quarterback who is not playing going into the playoffs. Just it's trash. I don't like it. The best ability is availability, you're not available for your team. And it's because you're selfish and you want to try to make a play diving. You should be sliding at all times. At all times. So it's frustrating. But this is where we are. Hey, we don't cry over spilled milk. We just wipe it up and keep it moving. That's the nature of it. Bills fan says CB83 2 in their prime. What do you think about the Dolphins' chances of winning this week? I think we're going to win this week. I think the Jets want to play spoiler, but I think our defense is really fired up. I think our defense is going to give Aaron Rodgers hell. So go ahead and put him in retirement. Go ahead and put him in retirement, sit him down. And I think our offense will play inspired football. I think the team wants to win for Huntley, um, and they know it's out of our control. We just got to go out there and play and let the chips fall where they may. So I think we're gonna go out here and win the game Sunday. All right, we got 161 watching us. We're on fire right now. Please do me a favor and punch the like button. I appreciate everybody coming through and rocking with me. It's been a while since I've been live. Let me zoom in a little bit. It's been a while since I've been live, but I appreciate you guys coming and rocking with me. Pittsburgh Dolphins says most of our starting line would be lucky to be on a practice squad elsewhere. Guards got to go. I agree with you. Liam Eichenberg has been okay, but he's just not a starting caliber player in the NFL. And we've tried the experiment. It just ain't worked out. And honestly, I don't dislike him as a player. I think he's serviceable, but everything's got to be right. Like your starting tackles got to be there. Everybody's got to be healthy for him to be playing well. And right now, Austin Jackson's on IR. He's out for the season, and we got backups running through, and it's hard, bro. You can't. Those guys are working in cohesion with one another. So that's why Liam Eichenberg is just not very good right now because he doesn't have the guys he's used to having next to him. Renegade says Grier won't build the damn trenches, though. If he adds someone, it'll be an athletic guy, not a big, powerful, and physical lineman. I agree with that. But is that Grier or is that McDaniel? Is that what McDaniel wants or is that what Grier wants? I think that's the question that everybody needs answered. Who's responsible for bringing in these offensive linemen? And I understand there's not a lot out there. I mean, let's be real. There's just not. The offensive line position is becoming a lost art. There's just not a lot of great offensive linemen coming in the league. So it's tough. S. Harris says, y'all keep pushing more defensive coaches on the Jets. Brandon Meadows says, CB, I wish I had your blind optimism in life. I'll give you that. Yeah, I'm definitely an optimist. A hopeless romantic when it comes to the Miami Dolphins. Hopeless romantic. 8 says KC is sitting most of their starters. The roster is out for who's playing and who's not. Okay. Pretty Boy says, what does it matter though? Jets will play top notch against us and only us. They're definitely going to play us tough. We're going to need Knicks to have a rookie moment. Yes, we're going to need that. Sal, I do want Buffalo. Let's go, bro. Line it up. Line it up, dog. Sarah says we can beat Buffalo with Snoop if we can get the running game. Yes, I agree. You get the running game, anything's possible. Got to get that run game. You got to get it. You need your best offensive lineman in there. You got to be running that thing downhill. We get curb stomped by Buffalo like 45-10 type score. No way. I put money on that. I've already put money on that before. I put money on that. Who's willing to bet me that? He said, don't be scared. The end comes for everyone eventually. Real Washington fan, CB, who would you rather, Daniel Jones or Derek Carr or draft Jalen Milroe? Sheesh. I'll take Derek Carr over Daniel Jones and Jalen Milroe. That's just me. I like having Jalen Milroe for the future, though. But that's only, I don't know. I haven't really watched him play like that. I think he's solid. Appreciate everybody coming through, man. Y'all showing love, man. Should I drop the link? Who want to come up for a little bit? Should I drop the link? Yes or no? Should I drop the link? For a few, I got about 15 minutes. Yeah, I've been going for an hour and 15. I got another 15. Irv, what's good? Irv in the building. Shout out to homie Irv. I ain't seen Irv in forever. I ain't even seen Irv in spaces. What's good, my boy? I got game, AJ. Man, let me get this real quick. Man, I appreciate y'all coming through. Let me do this real quick. Y'all popped in on that. Make sure I do this. There we go. So yeah, man. So Irv in the building. Who else in here? Kevin Lee, CB. We can beat the Bills round one is the question. 25-degree weather with Snoop or Tua is the question. I like Snoop. Run Snoop. Shit, let's go. If Tua hurt, he banged up. I don't want to put him out there. DG Live, what's good, my boy? My boy DG in the building. He said blasphemy. Lamb was put on IR today, bro. It's always something with this Miami Dolphins O-line. Down the stretch. Bro, we are hobbled, bro. Hobbled. Renegade says CB is the official Tua spokesperson. Official. Like a referee with a whistle, my boy. Brandon Meadows says this Tua injury situation is bottom line unreliable. I agree. It's just unreliable. Renegade says can Tua play on crutches? Denver is 9.5-point favorites. Yikes. H says Snoop won't get the start if Tua is healthy, bottom line, no matter how well Snoop plays. I don't know about that. I don't know. I think I'm going to be real with y'all. I think that decision will go to McDaniel and the captains, right? Of course, McDaniel. But I think the captains will have a lot to do with that decision. I think the captains will have a lot to do with that decision. And he'll go to them and say, hey, what do you guys think? And I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. I think the captains would be like, well, yeah, I understand that too as a captain. All right, I understand that. But this conversation here might be outside of Tua because it's a Tua and Huntley situation. So I think if it came down to it, they may say, hey, you need to, we want to go with Snoop. And I think that is a knock on Tua, but it's his health. Like if you're not 100%, it's hard for you to get out there and be the player that you need to be. Yeah, so I think that's the case. I don't know. That's gonna be tough though. Tough decision for sure. Tough decision, but the decision's got to be made. And shout out to my dog Wayne D. Wayne D. always in the building. Shout out to you, my boy. Appreciate you, dog. Irv says salute to CB and everyone in the chat. Hope you guys had a happy new year. Many blessings, fam. Shout out to you, Irv. It's good to see you, bro. It's been a while. Go Fins. Yes, sir. CB, I think we need to get Phils in free agency. He can lead a team. I like Phils. I thought Phils would have been a great play this offseason. I thought he was a great play. I thought it was a solid play. People were like, oh, he can't run this offense and blah, blah, blah. People just be talking, man. If Huntley, and I'm not saying Huntley's running the offense like Tua is, but well, it's not hard to anticipate throws and make throws in windows. Tua's super accurate. I do like his accuracy, but other guys can do that as well. Maybe not to the degree that Tua does it, but some of the other guys give you an element that Tua doesn't have, and that's the ability to take off and run and make plays with their feet. And that's what we saw with Snoop. So that's just it's where we are. Um, New feeling, what's good, bro? Members gang in the building. He says Browns game left more questions about McDaniel play calling and Tua reliability. Yeah. Um, than Snoop's ability. If Tua's healthy, he's QB1. We need contingency plans in 2025. I agree with that. Um, I agree. S. Harris says, I prefer pocket passers who can run, not athletes who can throw. And I agree with that wholeheartedly, too. Give me a guy who can sit in the pocket and can take off if necessary and maybe get off platform every now and then, extend the play and make that play. You ain't got to do it all the time, but the 1 or 2 times a game where it does present itself, I'd like to see you do that. I'd like to see you do that. Kevin Lee says, look at Sam Darnold. That dude is killing it this year. Yeah, right? One man's trash is another man's treasure. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I'm looking past Tua. We got to look at other options, mostly because of his health. I agree with that. And I'm not saying throw Tua away, but we just got to find other alternatives, bro. It can't be just Huntley. It definitely can't be just Huntley and Skyler. That's not going to get it done. So we got to find some more viable options. What's good, Greg? He said you got to get mobile these days as QBs. Yeah, these defensive ends are getting smaller and faster and quicker and lower to the ground. So you do need a guy who can kind of get out of trouble a little bit. You do need that. Lakers all day. What's good? CB, what's with your homie Tua, bro? We need a new quarterback. I've been talking about it all show. All show. Wayne D says fix that O-line, and it could change. Possibly. Possibly. Some people aren't willing to wait on that, though. That's the thing. Figueroa is still a Mario fan. Miami, man. Miami dropped the ball. The Miami afternoon drizzles. Them dudes ain't no hurricanes. Remy Gay says, give me a bigger QB who's more durable and still can make plays running. Snoop is more. Let me do this. I'm giving 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's it. Get a couple people up. If y'all want to come up real quick, give me your thoughts real quick. It's only going to be like maybe 2 minutes each. And I'll set a timer. We'll do 2 minutes each if you want to come up. So I'll drop the link in the chat if you want to pop in. Kevin Lee says Snoop is mobile and ran for 54 yards last week, more than 2 all season. Yep, that happens. Yep. If his hip now becomes a chronic issue, we better damn well find a new starting quarterback. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. The hip is just iffy, and that's the thing. We're not getting like solid answers out of Miami Dolphins camp, so it's tough. Hey, shout out to the homie. My homie popped in. Shake Money in the building. What's good, Shake?
What's going on, man? I haven't spoken to you in a while, so happy New Year, and hope that everything is good with you, and big things for you in 2025, my brother.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, bro. How you been, man?
Oh, living the life, baby.
Living the life. I love it, Shake. I love it, man. I was trying to catch up with you in the game, and I had so much going on with the family.
You got the game?
Yeah, San Fran game.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
Yeah, so I was down there, man. We had a good time, but good win for the Dolphins. It was a great experience. But, what's your thoughts on this situation, Shake?
Well, here's the thing, man. Look, here's the thing. I know everybody's saying that, Tua can't beat the good teams, whatever, but here's the thing. A trash quarterback can't even beat the bad teams. And you know what I'm saying? So he's winning. And But like you said, the health is the health concern is what really he's kind of working against himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's hard for him because here's the thing. I think he's trying to prove himself too much to people that he doesn't need to be proven shit to.
And I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, you don't have to be a runner or take off to be a great quarterback in the NFL. I mean, it's something that great quarterbacks do.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't have to do it. You can do it and still protect yourself, right? Like there's still ways to do it and protect yourself. You don't have to get every yard or get every first down. Sometimes you just have to go down before the first down in order to protect yourself. So I think that's the thing that bothers me most about it is that Tua probably hears the naysayers and what they're saying about, oh, he can't run, he can't get off platform, and he's just trying to do too much.
Yeah, and like I said before, I said this before. I say, look, Mike McDaniel, you were in a prime spot when you got the team. It was in a prime spot, a win now spot. He's trying to be learn how to be a head coach and a play caller at the same time. I say, look, I would say, in my personal opinion, give the play calling to Darren Bevel. Master becoming a head coach first. Once you master becoming a head coach, come revisit the play calling again. But I think we're at the spot we're in. We need a guy who could call decent plays while he's managing the clock, while he's checking for timeouts, and doing the little details that are shooting ourselves in the foot. So that's why I think if we're gonna stick with him, get rid of the play calling for a year or two again until he learns how to become a head coach. Master becoming a head coach first, then take back the play calling duties if that's what you really want to do. But he needs to make that sacrifice, in my opinion.
I like that. I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think Daryl Bevel could be any worse than McDaniel and his play calling. I think Mike McDaniel's play calling is solid. Um, I feel like it's taken a step back, and I don't know if that's because he feels like, hey, he has limitations now in terms of offensive line and what he can do. I just feel like um, he wasn't where he was like last year and the year before. I thought he was a better play caller. I thought the offense was more versatile those years, and that may be as a result of his talent he has on the roster. Like that just may be that.
Well, here's the thing. Two things that Darren Bevel and I'm not even saying Frank Smith that Darren Bevel has over Mike McDaniel. Number one, he has more years of play calling, and number two, he's worked with a number of different quarterbacks, so he knows how to. He has experience in tailoring a game plan to the quarterback that's going to be playing on Sunday. So if Tua has to go down there, we need Skylar Thompson. He would call the right play calling for that quarterback. Or if it's Snoop Huntley, or if it's Mike White, or if it's whoever the quarterback is, he's had enough experience with different types of quarterbacks to make those types of adjustments.
Yeah, and I agree with you there. I agree with that. Um, Shake, I wanted to get your thoughts on this Grier situation. What's your thoughts on Chris Grier? Do you think he needs to go? Is it time for Chris Grier to be exited? Tell the pack his stuff and exit the building.
Well, here's the thing with Chris Grier. Chris Grier has made the right look. He knocked this draft out of. I think the offensive tackle we got is he's making good strides. The Jalen Wright was a good pick. Chop Robinson is turn out to good well. The Jalen, not the number A3, right? Something number A3, the wide receiver. He's coming into his own. Yeah, Washington. He's coming into his own. So I think if he and he's gotten some good draft picks. Unfortunately, if you had to pick one of the coach or the GM, I'm gonna have to pick the coach because the coach is one that's setting the standard of how they're training, how they're if they're being lackluster. Chris Grier isn't making them undisciplined. It's the coach needs to work on that type of stuff. He brought in good players, man. It's unfortunately, they're in an environment where they're allowed to take days off and not be and laugh when they're down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Chris Grier didn't do that.
And I think that's a culture thing, and that's kind of my like synopsis on it. It's like, man, the culture needs to be better in Miami. Like players need to be held more accountable for like what they have going on. Like that needs to be the situation. And that's something that Chris Grier can't do. That's like a Mike McDaniel thing. So
And one thing I want to say too is, look, we gave Brian Flores hell for not building an offense staff, and it looks like McDaniels is not. He's failing on the defensive staff that he's building. He's probably have to go through another defense. If he goes through another defense coordinator, that'll be 4.
Yeah, and I don't think Weaver's going to be let go of his duties this year. I think he's going to get some more time to get it right. But yeah, I mean that's something he's been through a bunch of defensive guys. So keeping a staff in place, that's his responsibility. I like McDaniel, but I also know that hey, he's a young head coach. It takes time. It just does. So that's my thing with it. And I appreciate you coming through, Shay. What you got going on, bro?
Well, I got insomnia. With that, I'm doing an episode of Insomnia with Larry K, and then on Saturday morning, I'm gonna do a episode of Cafecito. Saturday morning I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna play the Jets press conference and see how where are the Jets mindset going into the game. That's what I like to do whenever I do a show where we kind of like study the opponent. You know what I'm saying? Study the press conferences and see what they're thinking about the Miami Dolphins and how they look coming into doing the MetLife takeover. So I appreciate you for having me up here, my brother. Thank you.
I appreciate you coming through, Shake. All love, bro. Always. Shout out to the homie Shake Money, man. I wanted to get the homie in the back end for a few minutes. Cap for Life is in the building. Cap, what's going on, man?
Oh man, hey, Happy New Year, CB, man. It's good to see you, bro.
Good to see you too. Cap, I know you got some questions for me. Shoot away, bro.
Yeah, no, man, I'm sorry I'm late, man. I've been going up and down, man. Everybody's live tonight, bro. It's just like, it's 2025 and it's live, bro. Right now, it's just man, it's gonna be good, bro. I mean,
what you think about the Tua situation, Cap?
The what?
The Tua situation. What you think about it, bro?
Oh man, I found out today that he was it today or the other day he was at the mall at Cheetah Store throwing the ball around playing catch with kids.
I did.
So if he can play catch with kids, maybe he can, I don't know, man. I mean, is there something in the works, bro? Is there going to be some type of like I don't know,
It's weird, but I don't think he was like Cap, he wasn't like moving around. Like he wasn't like moving on the hip, but he was at Cheetah Store interacting with customers and stuff like that, which, I understand, you're showing face. I think Tua's at the point right now where he's trying to like save face, and it looked like Tyreek was kind of surprised to see him there. That's what it looked like to me. But I don't know, man. I know how you feel about Tua as a player. I know where you always kind of stand it on him. But do you think it's kind of time to cut him and move on at this point?
I mean, look, man, as far as the position that I stand and I've tried my best to try to make it work with this guy, man. Like I've wanted to support him since day one. Every year that passed by, I tried to show support, man. But every time I got egg in my face in the process, it's like, man, when is enough? So with that being said, I would love to see him succeed this season, to try to do that Disney movie aspect that we all been dying, bro. Because at the end of the day, he's one of us. Like, we can badmouth him all we want, but if another division, another team starts getting involved in stuff, bro, no, we'll defend him. But it just, I don't know, man. Like, if Snoop's there, is that fair to Snoop if Snoop wins 2 games in a row? But at the same time, is it fair to the fans to try to cover up an injury and say, oh, he's not going to play, then play? It's like, what good is that? Like, what type of mind manipulation are you doing? Because it's not going to help anybody at this point. Like either he plays or he doesn't. And we always go through this every year. And I'm just, as a fan, as a diehard as you as well. I mean, aren't you just tired of that every year, man? Coming into the end of the season, like, is he going to play? Is he not? Will he play? Will he not? It's like it makes you build up resentment towards him, and the other fan base has the complete resentment towards the team and not him. It's just a yin and a yang effect that I don't like, man. But I would like for him to succeed. But if you're not available, man, it's not fair to the other quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I agree with you there, man. And I think there's a lot of people out there who dislike Tua and dislike.
Yeah, that's different. Like I don't have hate in my heart for the guy, but I can be critical.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. But I appreciate you. What's your thoughts on Grier before I let you go? Because I gotta get moving.
Oh man, I mean, it is what it is at this point, man. Like if we need to pull this off, because I'm hearing now in the Twitter streets that Rodgers has 499 touchdowns. He's searching for number 500, and who's it going to be? Against us. So I mean, like he's gonna play, and if he plays, you just gotta win, man. Because us not winning, going into a season, not winning, getting eliminated. I mean, somebody's gonna have to go, and if nobody ends up going, and we don't get eliminated, that's another conversation to have later. But I mean, at this point in time, just win, man. Then we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I agree. I think it's either like win and get in, or win and not get in.
Because if you get in, are you going to fire your GM after getting into the playoffs? It's going to be even more of a crap show for the organization if that happens.
Yeah, and that's where I was with it, man. So I appreciate you coming through, Cap. It's all love, bro.
No, I appreciate you, man. We got the whole year, baby.
Yes, sir. 2025, we live. Let's go. Shout out to the homie Cap for life. Hey, last guest of the night, the homie Lino TV. Lino, what's good with you?
What's going on, fam?
What's up, fam? Hey, I know you a Bills fan, right?
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like the time to time again, check in on these Dolphins fans, make sure y'all doing all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. You checking in on us. How you feel about the Dolphins right now and where we are?
To be completely honest with you, like as a opponent, I mean, don't get me wrong, I ain't gonna lie, we kind of loving that y'all are split halfway, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it's turmoil, so that let us know like y'all not getting your things together. So we don't know how y'all gonna be next year. And if y'all don't get your things together next year, I mean, it's gonna be another year of the Bills, you know what I mean? Get another,
I hear you.
title,
So,
but
what's your thoughts on the Tua situation? Do you think Tua is a guy, or do you think we'd be better off moving on from Tua? I want to hear from another fan base. What's your thoughts?
tell you the truth, I like Tua, man. I like Tua. I like the fact that he gets the ball up quick in this offense that y'all playing. The biggest problem is you're not winning against good, valuable teams. So whenever that doesn't happen, then you think, okay, it's automatically the quarterback. But I don't think it's automatically him. Because at the end of the day, yeah, y'all got Snoop, but we got to see him playing against a winning team too. We haven't seen that yet either. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and if that don't happen, then what? What do y'all take it from there? Because you're not in a good position to draft a good quarterback, and you're not gonna go out there and spend money on a quarterback. So it's like
it's tough, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Tough.
So y'all gotta. My biggest thing is y'all not. For years, y'all took the offensive line for granted. In my point of view, you know what I mean? People kept telling y'all need to fix the old line up. I think I kind of might want to do that. You know what I mean? And it's tough when Tua does get injured. You can't rely on them and stuff like that. But when I mean like y'all in the tough period, y'all in the real tough period in the sense of y'all kind of don't know what to do in the sense of the quarterback situation because y'all paid Tua that money. I knew once y'all paid Tua that money, it was going to be real difficult in the future for y'all. You know what I mean? Like if he doesn't start winning those important games, then you know what I mean, it was going to be tough. You know what I mean? So.
And I think a lot of teams are in that situation where it's like, hey, we gotta pay our quarterback, and the quarterback market is the quarterback market. Like you're gonna end up paying your dude big money. Now, I think the quarterback market is due for a reset. Like I think it's due for, hey, they need to find a way to kind of lower that for guys who are not at that level.
Yeah.
But it's just it's hard to do that at the moment because some of these guys are playing decent enough to get a solid contract. And I mean, either way, you're kind of it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
It is. It
It's
is, man. Because all they need is actually tell you the truth. All they need is one good season,
yeah, they're gonna get
and,
that
and
money.
they're gonna get that money. Like Sam Donald right now, he's balling.
He about to get paid next
He
year,
about to
dog.
get paid. Yeah, he about to get paid. You know what I mean?
And that's the same thing that happened to Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield had a good ass season. He
Mhm.
got paid, bro. And that's the thing. And I can understand people saying, "Oh, well, they haven't won a playoff game," and that's a team accolade. Like
Yeah,
I feel like teams win you playoff games. I don't think one player does that. So that's kind of my thought process on it. But I mean, if you were going into the playoffs tomorrow, who would you rather play? Would you rather play the Bills? No, not the Bills. Not. Would you rather play the Broncos, the Bengals, or the Dolphins?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I would like to play the Dolphins just because we know them so well, and I feel like we're way more confident with them. I don't think our
Okay.
defense. I don't think our defense is as stout uh as the Broncos is. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
because they got a really stout defense, and
Yeah, yeah.
I think with us, we had come out slow playing against the Broncos, and then we'd pick it up.
I
You know
got
what I mean? And the Broncos, I know we can get takeaways from them. You know what I mean?
because of Bo
So
Nix, because of rookie quarterback. Yeah.
exactly, you know what I mean? Against the Bengals, man, it's going to be a shootout.
So if you were to rank them, who would you rather play first? So you said Dolphins, you want to play first. Who would you want to play next?
Dolphins, then the Broncos, but only because of their offense, then the Bengals. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
I got you. I got you.
If anything, I would love to play the Bengals so that way we can, if we do eliminate them, it'll just, I ain't gonna lie, it'll look a little bit more better on Josh's resume saying he eliminated, you know, what the Bengals out of the playoffs, but at the end of the day, it's a toss up. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Man, well, Lino, I appreciate you coming through, bro. It's love. Hey, I'm glad you got up here and chatted with me. It's good to see you in the chat. I always interact with you, man. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel, bro.
oh no doubt, my man. Yo, you gotta definitely make more videos, bro. I'm telling you, people loving your show, bro.
I will, bro. I'm gonna be better in 2025. I appreciate you, bro. Take it easy, man.
You too, my man.
All right, bro. Later. All right, man. Last guest. People keep coming up. Damn, Sharif. Sharif, what you got going on? I gotta say Happy New Year to my Bahamian brother. What's good, bro?
Man, I tell you what, the results are out. The results are out.
Hey, first of all, throw the coconut emojis in the chat. Throw the damn coconut emojis in the chat for the homie Sharif. Throw the Bahamian flag in the chat for Sharif. We still got 137 watching. Punch the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate you. Sharif, what's going on with these Dolphins, man?
I tell you what, CB, it's just.
Don't come in here sad, bro. Don't come in here sad. I can't end the show like that. Come on, wake up, man. Let's go, man.
Well, the thing is, I'm excited for the nucleus of the team.
Yeah.
What makes me kind of sad is the fact that it's kind of coming around to fruition now, where you wanted to be able to, and I think of things with the context of replacing Laramie Tunsil, right? And you bring in a guy, who is recovering from an injury, right? And I was at the thought process in year 3 of Tua that he needed to add something else to his game because everyone can sit in the pocket, right? He needed to do something more. And, so I think Tua is just like you and I, if I see an opening in 7 yards, if I can get that, I'm going to try and get that. But my body in this gladiator sport is just not going to allow me to continue to do that and take those kind of hits. But my thing is, if you were responsible as an organization, Butch Barry, you should have known that wouldn't have been enough, and you should have known that, you would. I just think you didn't.
You didn't address it. Like you didn't do enough. Like, and that's what we can say, Sharif. I think the Miami Dolphins were irresponsible with the position they understand that Tua hasn't been hurt. I mean, he hasn't been healthy a full season since he's gotten the league. So you got to do your due diligence and put somebody behind him that, hey, if this guy steps in, he's going to be good enough for us to win a game. And look, maybe it does sit Tua down for a little bit. Maybe the guy is playing well enough to say, hey, we're going to ride the hot hand and not play Tua. It makes it uncomfortable for Tua, but shit, it's the NFL. It is what it is. We can't cater to people's feelings and their emotions and the willingness to not want to compete. Like, we can't cater to that. We gotta do better as an organization, man.
And we see that now that the scheme of Shanahan, it consists of quick linemen, linemen who can get up off their feet, basically touch and go, get to the next level. I've learned that long enough now in this offense. But what you don't have, like I mentioned before, you're 5 of 28 in 2 years when it comes to third down and less trying to run. You're 5 of 28, and you're 1 and 15 against winning teams. Tua just lost against Green Bay, so that record went to 1 and 15. So that goes to McDaniel, and it goes straight to Grier, who's been here for 9 years active. So the thing is, did you prepare this team to win in the cold weather, to run in the cold weather, and to protect Tua in the cold weather? You didn't. So that falls overall. I'm not talking about, because we can nitpick, Javon Holland's drop off and everyone else's, the depletion of Robert Hunt and Christian Wilkins, the irresponsibility of certain things, but it just falls on someone, and something has to be done. I'm just as staunch as Dudley and Big O. I think someone has to pay, and I'm not just talking about Crossman. I think we're going to need some fresh eyes, because the nucleus is here, but we got to make the team younger, and I think we need fresh eyes to make this team younger.
I got you. I like it, Sharif, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. I got to get out of here. I've been going for almost 2 hours. But I appreciate you coming through and showing some love, man.
What's up, man? Hey, Saxons and Valley boys. Hey, the results are coming out soon. What happened this morning?
So they didn't announce who won yet?
No, I don't think so, because there's no celebration yet.
Okay. Hey, well, when they announce it, you'd
have heard those cars honking in the street.
Hey, man, be sure to hit me when you hear who win, man. We talking about Junkanoo, if y'all don't know. We talking about celebration in the Bahamas, man. So appreciate you, Sharif. Hit me, bro.
All right, no problem. I'll send a retweet to you, and all of the edits and everything inside there.
All right, cool. Appreciate it, bro. Hey, shout out to everybody who came through, man. Shout out to you guys for rocking with me, man. I had 175 people in here at one point watching the show. We still got 143 watching, probably between X and YouTube. But I appreciate you guys. If you're on X, come over and check me out on YouTube. I appreciate the donation from the homie Pittsburgh Dolphin with the $5 donation. He's also a part of the members gang. If you want to join the members gang, hey, hit that button down there. It gives you the option to join the members gang. Become a member for, a year, a couple months. You can do it monthly, however you want to do it. But like I said, guys, I appreciate you. I'm going to crank up the content in 2025, keep it going. Like I said, man, the Miami Dolphins peculiar situation, right? Lino kind of said it. Y'all in a tough spot. The Tua situation, you just signed him. Mike McDaniel, you just signed him too. It's just a lot going on. So we'll see. Do the Miami Dolphins go out there and get a dub on Sunday?
I hope so.
Okay. I really do hope so. Now, do the Miami Dolphins back their way into the playoffs with a Kansas City win?
I hope so.
I really do hope so, man. But like I said, hey, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hey, it's all love. Happy New Year. Hey, the motto is we live in 2025. Let's get it. Hey, many blessings to you and your families, your loved ones. Man, we're going to rock this thing, man. We're going out here to get a win Sunday. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on X. Follow me on IG. I kind of announce on X for the most part when I'm going live. So that's the easiest way to catch me. But be sure to turn on your notifications button so you know when I go live. Click that bell. Punch that like button. Jump in the comments. Let me know some of your thoughts on the stream. Let me know what you would do with Grier. Let me know what you would do with Tua. But we're going to keep rocking. It's Finn State with CB83, and your boy is out. Hey, Soup Bone, we win it Sunday. Let's go. Let's go.